it's all an at call, right? So you've got an object that represents the call.
Right.
The AMI, you wouldn't automatically take the new caller ID and update some state in that particular object to say there's a new caller ID, but you have to program it yourself, something like that.
Well, you could.
Sort of abstracting it together into a sort of an object that represents the call.
It really depends on what you want to do. Asterisk will always keep track of things. If you change the caller ID in the dial plan, that is accessible via the channel variable. I wouldn't necessarily want to filter for caller ID events. You could if you wanted to react to them in some way. Well, right, yeah. Yeah.
Now, one more quick demo I wanted to give is, what we did at Tropo, where we're doing, cloud-based APIs for SMS, voice, speech recognition, speech synthesis, et cetera. We've actually created a wrapper for our API called Agitate, which effectively is a Ruby script running in our cloud that actually emits AGI as if it were an Asterisk server, right? So it will actually connect out to Adhearsion, and you can use the same dial plan capabilities that you'd be using on Asterisk on top of this. Now you can write a whole application on this, but the idea here is to mix in things into Asterisk like speech recognition and speech synthesis from, I think there's 20 different languages and things like this, without having to install that on your local Asterisk box. So what's happening in the demo I can show you here in a minute is, can you see that all right? Is you have the same concepts of the context, because in the first case the call is actually coming in through Asterisk AGI from Asterisk, and then we go ahead and attach some SIP headers to it, because the Tropo network's a full SIP network that you actually say, okay, I want to attach my channel ID, which uniquely identifies my call, and then it's actually on line 11 there going out and dialing my application in the cloud, and then comes back down into Tropo AGI. Now this is actually Tropo that's talking down to your Adhearsion application, and now you can actually get full speech recognition, right? Pull that back, and then actually pass it back to Asterisk once it's done. So you're only using cloud services when you need to in your Asterisk box, and then falling back into it once you're done, right? So what the AGI allows you to do is effectively it just looks like you're talking to two Asterisk servers, one that's your standard one, then one that has all these extra features on it for doing speech recognition and things like that. So I can give you a quick demo of that. I was going to do it on here, but since I lost my internet as well, I should be able to do it on my phone. I'll put it up to the speaker here. Now, of course, AT&T is going to fail us on top of it.
Welcome to the Victorian. Which is your favorite Muppets character?
Kermit.
Greetings, Kermit the Frog here.
Right,
today I'd
so,
like to tell you a little bit about the color green.
Right, so, and I could have said the Swedish Chef and play Swedish Chef, whatever, but that's an example of actually adding things like speech recognition and speech synthesis to Asterisk from a cloud service, all within Adhearsion. It's not limited to Adhearsion. You could use this AGI server for PHP AGI or Asterisk Java, etc. But of course, it works very nicely in this kind of a context as well. So, any other questions?
So that's line, sorry,
Yeah.
line 54, that execute ask. So that's a Tropo extension.
Yeah. The way I designed, I wrote the Agitate piece, and the way I designed it was it will support AGI in the context that makes sense, like to do an input, wait for digits, things like this, and it does it in the standard AGI way, like you don't know the difference. But then just like a custom module in Asterisk, you can call a custom module on Tropo and actually get down really into our API and just pass an ask with some parameters in JSON and push that into our, but it's still an AGI concept. It's the way you would call something like Lumenvox, through AGI as a custom module that's not actually exposed as a method in the dial plan. And now that we have gems as components, I'm going to go back and create a gem that actually makes that even easier. Because now I can very easily say gem install Tropo Agitate, and now these types of things here just get exposed as an ask method in the dial plan. Just haven't had time to do it because we just got 1.0 out today. All right, we're about out of time, so how much time do we have? I think we may be done, but any other questions or things you want to see? One of the things I wanted to say, we are going to be in the code zone afterwards, so if anyone wants to see any detail. No? Oh, bummer. Well, so much for that.
Well, then we'll be in the hallway.
We'll be in the hallway then.
So I can show the events demo. Does someone want to see the events demo?
Yeah.
Let me show you what that looks like.
Computer
Yes, I do want my computer back.
A minute?
Okay.
Hurry.
It's a very fast events demo. Okay.
And by the way, we do have stickers up here if anybody wants any stickers for Adhearsion or Trapo, so before you go. Yeah, you have no room left.
Okay. So this is an example of processing an event. Every time an event comes in, we take a look at the event name. When the event is DTMF, so keep in mind the Asterisk will send 2 events for every DTMF key press. It'll send a start and a stop. If you're bridged, it'll send 4 because it'll send a start and a stop on each channel. So in this case, what I'm actually making sure is that, first of all, it's the end event because I don't really care about the start event, although you could use that for timing if that's important to you. And I also check to make sure that we want the direction received as opposed to sent, because you'll get the received event on the channel that sent you the DTMF and you'll get the sent event when it went back out. When I detect that, I put a line standard out. If that happens to be a star, what I'll go do is I'll look at the channel that originated the star, rip them out of music on hold, and transfer them back to me. So that's one way you can use events to do something, because music on hold is uninterruptible. If you call the music on hold application, there's no way for the caller to pull themselves out of it. Using events, you can do that. It's entirely asynchronous.